Last week, the new bill was introduced to Parliament, and here's what Michael Gove had to say about it.
Well, my first priority when I became Secretary of State was to deal with the building safety crisis, to make sure that people who were trapped in unsafe homes at last had the investment that they needed. That's been secured, and now we're making sure that there are more people in the private rented sector who have the security of knowing that they cannot be evicted from their home on the basis of a rogue landlord trying to intimidate them.
Well, the founder and managing director of My Property Box, Ben Quaintrell, joins us now. Good morning to you, Ben. So it's being hailed as something of good news for tenants. But there's been quite a lot of mumblings from landlords that this could be something of a squatter's charter.
Absolutely, yes. For a long time now, we've been waiting for this reform to come in, and it is good news for tenants. But for landlords, maybe, it's still up for discussion, because particularly your accidental landlords, the landlords who haven't planned to rent their properties out because they've inherited a property for work reasons or whatever reason, might then be sceptical to then put the property on the market to let, which reduces how many properties and homes we have available for people. So it might rock landlords from wanting to rent properties out.
So explain a little bit more about the Renters Reform Bill. What protections does it give to renters?
So basically, it stops landlords on a normal tenancy being able to give tenants a Section 21 notice for no fault. So if the tenant doesn't fault for any reason, if they don't breach the tenancy, then a landlord cannot evict a tenant. On the good point, the Section 8 notice, which is breach of the tenancy, the government is now tightening that up, which has been a big move forward for landlords, because over the years, when antisocial behaviour occurs, it's been very difficult, almost impossible, for a landlord to evict a tenant based on antisocial behaviour alone. So they are good points for both tenants and landlords, but certainly, the Section 21 no fault is great for tenants, and the Section 8 is good for landlords. So mixed feelings, I think, throughout.
And how much do you think, Ben, is this kind of just fiddling with protocol to kind of direct people's attention away from the real problem? And that is, there simply aren't enough houses being built in Britain, and that's what's really pushing rents sky high.
Absolutely, yeah. In the North East, we've seen that, I think, more than any other part of the country. HMOs, houses multiple occupation, now in Darlington and the North East, are more popular than ever, and it's because the demand is so high. There isn't enough housing for people. So now, obviously, you've got landlord investors converting properties into 6, 8, 10 bedroom HMOs, and that's right, because there is a shortage of housing, we're not building enough properties, and that'll just continue. And I think this, unfortunately, the negative side is, because of that Section 21 notice being banned, that might then stop your accidental landlords, your landlords who didn't plan to become landlords, they've decided to rent the property out, and may stop them doing that.
Ben, how long will it take for renters to actually feel this positive change? Will they feel it in the next year?
No, I think it's still, actual rollout dates haven't been confirmed yet, to my knowledge. And like anything, it takes time. I think usually in these things, we had the electrical safety certificate coming a couple of years ago, and usually they give a year's notice on new tenancies, and then they give an extra year for, they say 1 year for existing tenancies, and then they often do another year for new tenancies. So I think it'll be a year or two at least before this is fully rolled out.
And Ben, it's interesting when you mention that, because of course we have a general election before that. Lisa Nandy has been saying this week she'd go even further. The Labour Party would allow a 4-month statutory period of notice, giving more power to tenants, less to landlords, the legal right to have a pet, and removing control from landlords, and even the ability to make structural changes to houses, to properties from renters. So what's the market looking like for landlords? Are they bracing themselves, Ben, for bad news here?
Yes, unfortunately, I'm sure landlords will be watching this now and they'll be feeling, that it is getting tightening up. And the property ombudsman, we welcome that as an agent. We welcome that. It does get rid of your rogue landlords and rogue agents, which is a good thing. But parts of this reform bill, unfortunately, is a negative for landlords, and they will be looking at thinking, should I invest my money in property, or should I look elsewhere?